Thank you very much. It's an honor to be here. My name is indeed Kari Herlevi from Sitra, the Finnish Innovation Fund. And I'm very interested to, of course, learn about local circular economy practices as well, but I'm here to tell you about the global view on circular economy. Basically, Sitra is the Finnish Innovation Fund under the Finnish Parliament, and we've been around since 1967. And our mandate is to make sure that Finland prospers in the future. And in this way also circular economy is a key area of our operations. I came to establish the area 2015 and since then we have been working very intensely with the circular economy topics. So basically moving on to the global view on circular economy. So where are we at the moment in circular economy? One of the views on this is, of course, the policy landscape and how strategies of circular economy has progressed. There is altogether around 50 countries that have made roadmaps. That's around 25% of the old nations, and that's, of course, a progress since when we started in Finland. Finland was, in fact, as was mentioned, also the first country to launch the roadmap of circular economy. I led the process myself, and of course we are very interested to also hear in your region how things have progressed. But overall, I would argue that things are progressing quite well. And for example, in July, African Union launched its continental-wide roadmap for circular economy. So there's, of course, regional roadmaps as well in place. The second view on circular economy, how it has progressed, is the kind of material use. In my lifetime, since 1970s to this day, material use has been tripling. So basically, we are in a path of very high linear economy at the moment, and circular economy would be the tool to bend that curve and make possible that we would be much smarter with use of natural resources. And that's, of course, not happening that fast at the moment. The good progress of circular economy is outpaced by the linear economy and its growth. If we go forward with another lens here, this is more like a data-driven approach. And here you can see that, for example, in Europe, the material use rate is a little bit below 12%. Globally, it's at the moment 6.9%. It was last year 7.2%, so we are in a down curve in that respect. And then just recently, Circular Economy Foundation did an analysis of the Latin American Caribbean region, which is below 1%. Of course, there are data gaps and concerns, so I'm not sure if that really reflects the situation, but at least it is a data point to be analyzed. Of course, all of this doesn't look that good. Even in Europe, there is high targets to improve that rate as we speak. And then, of course, you could look at the resource productivity. Here you can see from the 2000 level that Europe, the member states of European Union, has been able to improve the resource productivity quite a lot. The rest of the world is a bit positive curve, but not as good at the moment. Maybe one of the positive message of this slide is really that the decoupling of economic growth from the use of natural resources is possible, although it's not enough yet. Then maybe some points of those materials that I just presented. Maybe one of the first one is that, of course, we have been seeing at Sitra a lot of positive developments in the space, but unfortunately, as I mentioned, the good progress is still maybe in the piloting phase, and new strategies are kind of coming up, but the implementation hasn't been that effective. And for those reasons, linear economy is growing faster. The second point what I would like to make is that, of course, the developed countries, most of the Western world has to kind of decouple faster and make that absolute decoupling possible in the years to come. And finally, the data that we have seen also shows that the focus is still on the kind of waste management, recycling. Circular economy is kind of equal to waste management in many countries. And of course, that has to be solved. Waste cannot be in the nature. It can't be in a landfill. Even incineration. Waste to energy, that's of course positive, better solution, but at the end of the day we would like to see the material flow back to the society so that it gives the value. Plastics, as an example, is downgrading at the moment and it's really not that well functioning. But of course it's with the high quality plastics the situation is a bit different. Okay, but that's maybe the kind of overall picture from Sitra's point of view, where we are at the moment. Then maybe a couple of words about Finland's case in circular economy. I mentioned that I led the process of national strategies for Finland, actually 2 times, and our Sitra's intention was the government would take the lead. And that happened after 2019 with the new government and the kind of principal decision of having targets for natural resource use. That's actually quite unique also globally because there aren't that many countries that have these kind of targets. Although this is not the law, so it doesn't mean that it's that way binding, but it is a strategic goal anyway. Finland has a climate law, and there you have to comply with the strict targets. But in this case, still I would argue that a country with a lot of mining and heavy resource use, it is quite unique to have these kind of goals where you kind of put the cap on the use of natural resources to 2015 level, you double your resource productivity, circular material use rate, and all of these are important to kind of drive the kind of direction of the country. Let's go a bit forward. The other thing that we did at Sitra was to not only focus on Finnish case, but also connect it to the world. Finland has only 5.5 million people, so basically many of the things are decided elsewhere. And what we can do as a small country is to connect the world with our own work. And 2017, we decided that Sitra and Finland should give a gift to the world. So we established the World Circular Economy Forum as a one-time event at the time. But it was so popular that we have continued the forum together with our international partners. And it is a place to meet and discuss and take initiatives forward. This year it was in Latin America first time in Sao Paulo. Brazil was the host and it was a bit below 2,000 people there. Online views 20,000. So it is actually one of the key platforms in circular economy. And it's open for everybody, so if you haven't checked the websites and the discussions from Sao Paulo, I would recommend you to do that. There's a lot of good material for you as well. Let's take a short snapshot of the discussions from Sao Paulo. What did people who are in the field discuss about? Basically, one of the key things was critical raw materials. I would argue that circular economy has come a long way from waste management discussion to environmental discussion to economic discussion, and finally more like a geopolitical security discussions as well. How to secure critical raw materials, how to secure materials in the first place for your region and for your countries. And that's one of the key discussion points. Second thing that I would say is very topical is the climate negotiations next month in Belém in Brazil again, where the circular economy is first time with the leadership of Brazil discussed as a kind of tool for mitigating climate change. Of course, your region very much knows what does that mean, and in that respect, we have high hopes that circular economy is really a tool for that. Also, there is a lot of discussion about trade, and we have seen just recently, for example, between Mexico and European Union that circular economy is really mentioned in the trade agreements directly. There is also indirect ways of doing that, like with Singapore and some other countries, but anyway, it's more and more visible in the trade agreements, and hopefully that will lead to kind of more efficient trade policies, etc. And finally, what is seen in those discussions is the need for harmonization of policies. There's a lot of policies in different countries and regions, but they are very different and they are not harmonized. And I think that's one area to discuss also in the future. Okay, but that was maybe the global view and what's going on, and now a little bit more practical things from Sitra's point of view. What are we doing at the moment and with whom? And this might be of interest to you as well. And let's go forward and have a look at the initiatives that we have at the moment. So basically, what we have now launched this year is together with the European Union and Commission and Finnish government is the EU Circular Economy Resource Centre. That's a centre that is actually connecting European Union members, experts, etc., with our partner countries in different respective regions, and to facilitate the circular economy movement in kind of creating new solutions in the policy and business sector. This is just a longer version of that, but basically the center is a 5-year center at the moment, and we are focusing on promoting circular economy policies, different strategies, and also business models in the field. And I would also stress that circular economy is in a high priority of the European Union at the moment. It's part of the global gateway strategy, and there is, of course, links to investments and trade, like I mentioned in my previous slide as well. And then about, let's see, what would go forward is it taking it? Yes, it does. Okay, great. So basically, one of the key things, and maybe also you have seen in your forums here, is that circular economy is a quite positive agenda. There is a possibility to do good for the environment. It's actually a good business opportunity. I work as a support professional as well, and I know that a lot of companies are innovating in this field. And it, in that sense, also creates jobs as well. And that's, I think, the positive measures that we are also kind of having with the discussions with our partners as well. And I would also say that it's really something that we are here today as well, is to kind of find new partnerships, perhaps in this region as well. We were in Panama early this week, and there was very good discussions about, for example, Panama has a circular economy strategy, and they are interested in finding support from the center to implement more efficiently those policies. There are some guiding principles that we have for the center. One of them is additionality, and that's really the basic idea that as there are a lot of different programs in circular economy, we want to build something unique on top of that and provide some added value that the current programs don't, either regionally or globally. And EU CIRC, the Circular Resource Center, is a global project. Second is that we emphasize collaboration, so it's not one-sided road that Center just tries to push European agenda. This is more like a co-creation model that we have here. And what it means really is that it is also demand-based. So basically, we have been contacted a lot of different stakeholders already, and we are now analyzing what are the most impactful kind of collaboration possibilities that we have with different regions. Here you can see a bit of how the center operates. So we have a policy lab, knowledge lab, and business lab. And basically in the policy lab, it's about implementation of circular economy policies and strategies, or if the country doesn't have, design some of the policies. And we have expertise from different European Union countries, and of course also from Finland, but many other countries have done those roadmaps, and we can facilitate, for example, exchange of experts and seeing that the most prominent experts meet each other. For example, we have already, as an example from your region, more broadly from Latin America, the city of Buenos Aires contacted us, and they wanted to kind of design circular economy policies for Buenos Aires city. And they are now soon visiting Helsinki in Finland. The kind of capitals are exchanging notes and understanding of how to improve circularity in cities. Then we have the knowledge lab, and that's maybe more about connecting the dots, making sure that there is no gaps in the market when it comes to knowledge and analysis, and we are also making sure that we can do short-term assignments. So basically meaning that experts could work, for example, with your policymakers and find new solutions to kind of improve, maybe like trade between EU and your region, or implementing policies, etc. And finally, there is the business lab, and the role of the business lab is really facilitate business between EU and partner countries. And Enabel is our partner from Belgium, and they mostly focus in Africa, but there will be also global initiatives in the field as well. These are the priorities of the center. So basically, we are focusing on policies, strategies, product design type of things, digital product passports, and business models. But from the substance point of view, also critical raw materials, infrastructure, ICT, electronics type of things, batteries, etc. So the things that we see at the moment relevant. Yes, you don't see plastics, you don't see textile, but the reason for that is that there is quite a lot of programs already focusing on plastics and textiles, so we want to kind of build something else, at the moment at least. Let me see, does it go forward? Nope, stopped here. Oh, yeah. Well, this is about the, let's say, geographical focus. At the moment, we are making prioritization of countries based on the analysis that we have globally. So we have gone through the roughly 200 countries that are ODA eligible, and now fine-tuned to kind of a smaller number of countries and regions. And but as said, it's a demand-based, so we don't shy away from the countries that are very much kind of wanting to take things forward, because that's the only way forward is with the interested participants. All right. Well, there is some more details that maybe is not useful to go here in detail, but maybe to stress that the World Circular Economy Forum is a platform that we are using with the Centre. And for example, we are awarding policy and business awards during the forums, and our partner Enabel is also doing some city scans and supporting investments and business hubs in some of the regions, etc. So there's plenty of information available online, and in that sense you can check the more details of the Centre from our website. But that's maybe enough from the Centre itself. And I'd like to kind of conclude by saying some words about the World Circular Economy Forum and its future direction. So, of course, it was in Sao Paulo this year, but the direction that we are taking for the next year, you might already know it, but it's in India next autumn. Dates are not disclosed yet, but most likely early October. And it's of course would be great to see a lot of participants either on site in India or online from your region as well. And let's keep in contact and stay tuned for the next editions after India. Of course, we are looking for candidates from different regions, and of course, it could be a possibility to return to Latin America, maybe to Caribbean at some point. I think one of the interesting areas that we haven't seen a lot is the kind of island perspectives, and there's of course globally a lot of islands that could be of interest to us as well. Thank you very much.